Coming to you live from Albert Park here in Melbourne, Australia. Daniel Stevens alongside Jonathan Webster, bringing you round one of Season 5 of the Breakout Racing League. Tier number 1 here tonight. Continuing off right where we were a season ago with a lot of good drivers, with a lot of talent here in this league. We're adding even more tonight with the addition of 2 Brazilian drivers who should really shake up the championship come this season. Once again, Daniel Stevens alongside Jonathan Webster. This is going to be a good season and always good to kick it off here at Melbourne, Albert Park. Tough track to pass on, but one where you see a lot of tough driving, and these guys are really going to have to be on the edge here tonight if they want to win. All comes down to qualifying, if you ask me. And John, what's your opinion on that? Is it really all qualifying, or can they actually make moves here tonight?
Well, Danny, it's good to be back. Albert Park, definitely a difficult track to pass on. It's all about qualifying here. If you can get up a good grid spot here at the front of the field, that is really going to pay off during the race. The turn 1, always very sketchy here. I think it's going to come down to this qualifying. We have some quick new additions in the Breakout Racing League Tier 1, so I'm very excited for this season, and I'm very excited for this qualifying session. It's good to be back.
All right, well, something we should bring up is the reprofiling of the track in this game. As with many tracks, this one has been widened a good bit, and a lot of corners have been reprofiled. So I think with it being wider, we do see the possibility of more moves down the inside, especially through this corner right here. We follow through João Pedro here, coming through onto the back straight. A lot of corners a bit wider, just that extra little bit of room to stick your nose up the inside or outside, whichever way you want to go here. And John, we just got to cover these guys real quick. Pirandi and João Pedro, these 2 guys, teammates on Renault. Renault was dominant a season ago with Ryan and Jared. Is it possible they could even be more dominant this season?
I'm not very sure. Those guys were especially quick last year. I mean, all year they were the most consistent pair of the 2. Ryan winning races, had many masterclass races last year. Jared always up there, you know, always podium, always top 5. Even though he proclaimed that he didn't practice, hopefully he practiced this year. But yeah, no, I think that those 2 are very deadly, and I also think the 2 Brazilians. I mean, never seen them race before. They are new in here. They are rookies, but we all know their pace. If you know, you'll see them on the top 10 in the time trial during the F1 2020 game, almost at every track. So these guys are extremely quick, some of the best drivers in the world. But also another good pairing to throw out there, Danny, is definitely Deer Hunter and Ferrari Nut. Ferrari Nut is coming off a season where he did not race F1. He was only in F2 cars for 2019, swore by it. But now he is back in the F1 cars, and I'm interested to see his debut in Tier 1 here tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. I did have a chance to speak with Ferrari Nut before tonight's race, and he is very excited to get things started here. Very confident in his pace, both 1-lap and long run here once the race does commence. But taking a look here at João Pedro, this man is smooth getting around these corners extraordinarily well. As I say that, that's his first time off the track, actually, touching the dirt there mid-sector 3. But early on, the first lap is set by Hoopalicious, 119.5, and second is Drelix, 4/10 back. Maybe not the best for him. But here we are coming out of the final corner for João Pedro. How's this going to stack up? Lost a bit of time running off. And yes, it's only going to be second for him. 1/10 off of Hoopalicious. Probably know that could have been a very good lap from Hoop. And here comes Brandy across the line up to second. So yes, I think Hoop really did bang it in there on his first run.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Hoopalicious, great driver, really improved last year throughout the season. I mean, we had him and EGC Sparky, who's no longer in Tier 1. Those guys really, over the course of the season, just progressed into such great drivers and very consistent. As wow, DRC Jared is out of this qualifying session as he smacks the wall going through the fast right-hander. Wow, he got on the curb there and just lost the car. What a shame for him in that Mercedes.
Yeah, and also bad stuff for Boss Cookie already invalidating his lap right here. He's going to have to pit, maybe even cross the line just to set it as a banker regardless. But yeah, it is an invalidation for him, and yes, he is coming out of the pits right here. In that Alpha Tauri, first time this car is making its appearance in a Breakout Racing League event. Good to see it on the racetrack there. Max Stalo on an out lap. I think he was the most improved driver of BRL last season. See what he can do this season. An invalidation early isn't the best way to do it, but it is only an outlap, so that's not the end of the world. Once again, he got very good by the end of last season. One of the best of the rest of the midfield. Let's see if he can take that extra step to maybe be the bottom of the front runners this season. Always good to see that improving there by him. HRC down there in 12th, still only an outlap for him. I do believe he was champion a season ago, if that is correct, John, so in Tier 2. So good to see him making the step up to Tier 1.
Yeah, he came in second position in the championship, if I do remember. I think BRL Maverick took that
second, okay.
away.
Yes, Maverick did.
Yeah,
Correct.
he was up there. He's a very good driver, very quick driver. He should have been in Tier 1 last year, but, you know, stuff happens. But, yeah, great lap out there from Hooplicious in the Red Bull, I do have to say. And that's really unfortunate for DRC Jared. He was on a flyer right there in that Mercedes, and he just lost it coming out of that corner, couldn't save it, overcorrected, and straight in the wall. So that's really going to put a damper on him for the race as New Zealand RYAN, his teammate, goes up to 5th with a 119.8.
And speaking of cars that are making their debut this season, there's the black Mercedes you can see right there, sported by New Zealand RYAN, and Jared obviously out of the session. We'll see his car in the race. Let's see it on the racetrack. And what else is going on right here? We just got a couple out laps, and I do believe Max Stalo is on his lap right here. Here he goes, and he actually goes purple sector 1. So very good stuff here from Max Stalo. Let's see if he can hold it through the second and third sector. The first appears to be very good as he actually kicks the dirt a little bit there on the left, approaching sector 2. Here he is now on the back straight, coming up to the chicane. This is where a lot of time lies on this lap time right here. See what he does. He's got to turn in a little bit before the 50, nails that, actually hits those apexes beautifully without scrubbing too much speed by turning the wheel all that too much. Here he's going to be hard on the brakes, a little bit past the 100. Yes, turns in right. Sector 3 now, a bit more technical than the rest of the racetrack, a lot tighter through here. Here he is coming up to probably the slowest corner on the racetrack of the penultimate, turns left. Coming up to the high-speed right-hander of the final, and what's it going to be for Max Stalo? I'm interested. That first sector was very good. Where's he going to go? It's only 8th place. Okay,
wow. So
definitely some time to be improved on there in the second and third. He was very quick through the first, purple in fact, so let's see what he could do to improve on that later on. But what's good for him is that the potential is there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, during that lap, he really put it together. It was nice and smooth. I thought it was going to be a lot quicker than what he had. I raced in Tier 2 earlier, the Breakout. It was a fantastic race. You can go check that out. It's on the Twitch channel. So in qualifying, but the top leader, Hooplicious, has already beat the whole time in Tier 2. So that's just a little information to there. Chandler Seda actually moves up to 3rd in his Alfa Romeo, so good stuff from him. Yeah. Good to see him back.
And also, as that happened, Hooplicious just went purple again to his own time through the first sector right here. Provisional pole sitter at the moment. He's looking to extend his advantage. Here he is coming down the back straight right now. Actually, it doesn't look like he's backed up. No, he's still going strong. It, for some reason, clipped me onto Max Stalo there for a second. That was odd. But it's a purple sector 2 for Hooplicious. Still pushing along right here on another good lap time. But a lot of traffic. There's been a lot of cars in the way. Trying to pull off to the side for him. Let's hope that doesn't slow him down too much. Here he is coming through the third to last corner right here, and now up to the penultimate, maximizing all the track there on the right to turn into the left. Here he is sweeping over to the left, back to the right for the final. Runs a bit wide, but not too wide to get an invalidation. Here he is coming across the line. Will he improve? And yes, by 3/10 to 119.2. Really flexing the muscles here is Hooplicious.
That was a fantastic lap. That Red Bull, I drive the Red Bull in Tier 2, and that Red Bull feels really stable around this track, and that is a blistering lap from Hooplicious there. It's very smooth,
yeah,
just
and actually,
on it. Wow.
Don't want to get his hopes up a little too early. Parandi is now purple to Sector 1, and actually he locks up there into the heavy braking zone. Let's see what he can do to make up the time that he has lost. Maybe not too much, as for some reason keeps clipping me to other cars. It's a bit odd, but here he is, Parandi coming now through the chicane. He did not go purple too, and what are you trying to tell me there, John?
I'm trying to tell you that BRL Hoyo Pedro. BRL Pedro. That's better. He just went fastest with a 119.0, and I was watching Hydraulics' lap earlier. It was very smooth, very close to Hooplicious. These drivers are really getting tight up here for pole.
Well, here comes Pirandi across the line. Let's see if he can follow up his teammate. And no, he actually doesn't even improve position right there. So that lock up and a couple other mistakes were enough to make his lap not quite as good as the first one. But yeah, João Pedro, look at that. Up to the top provisional pole, 2/10 faster than Hoopalicious. We know just how fast these Brazilian racers really are, and they're showing it here tonight. Pirandi, though, definitely still looking for a bit more pace. I don't think that's exactly what he had in mind.
Yeah, I mean, he still has 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the session, and we know that he's such a quick driver around here. So he will definitely improve by the end of the session. Of course, the track temperature goes up, and the track gets more grip on it, so that should help improve his time at the end of the day.
And just for you viewers back at home who possibly aren't aware, BRL Tier 1 has now eliminated all assists, so none are allowed to be used whatsoever. And if you do notice your favorite drivers or just other drivers in general not being up to the normal pace that you typically saw them at a season ago, it's because they're getting used to that. Everyone's been practicing it, trying to get a little bit better, and not everyone's 100% there, I'd assume. So expect a little bit of a shuffle here in performance here tonight. But it should get back to normal, I'd say, the more races we have in the future. As no, Ryan invalidates it right there. Coming up to the penultimate corner. He's going to complete the lap anyway right here. Just taking a look at him in that 77 Mercedes. Across the line. And yeah, he's not going to be able to be a lap time, obviously, for that invalidation. But I'm sure he's satisfied with whatever it was.
Wow, Ginger Horizon and that McLaren really pushing it to the limits. Wow, he got very squirrely with a massive tank slapper as he goes into the pits to get on some new fresh tires, but wow, what a save from him.
Yeah, actually, you say Ginger Horizon. I'm excited to see what he can do this season because he was a bit of a late entry a season ago, and we didn't get to see too much out of him. There were a couple run-ins with UGC Sparky at the end of the season, and it's not ideal for him, but I'm certainly sure that he's here to put on a show this season, give it what he's got.
Yeah, for sure. Meadfern's coming around the final corner now. He's up to the line. DRS activated. What can he do down in 12th in the AlphaTauri? He moves up to 10. Pretty good from him.
All right, well, the points. Yeah, Meadfern's never been the fastest in the world, but he's always been a good contender there in the midfield. Looking like that again here this season. What's going on? Max Stalo is also on another lap right here, as is Deer Hunter on an outlap. I mean, not on his lap. He's on an outlap. Deer Hunter has been very proud of his pace, actually, so far in this game, as Max Stalo actually turns it a bit early and locks up the right front, going into that corner right there. Not the most ideal of ways to take that turn at all, but let's see what he can do pushing on with this lap. Take a look at B-Dunk. He does appear to be on a lap right here. No, actually, it's the end of his lap. He's in 6th place. 119.8 for him, I believe. This Chandler Seda now coming through the penultimate corner. He's looking to improve. Always a contender, is he? Not in the Williams this season. Now he's in the Alfa Romeo. Fishtails it out of the final corner. Coming across the line, what's it going to be? Not an improvement, I don't believe. Yeah, no, 119.3. That's where he's going to stand. So, purple Sector 3. He had the fastest Sector 3, but not enough to improve on his lap. Potential's there, though, so he could definitely improve those first two and really get up the tables a little bit further there.
Yeah, Danny, he actually improved about 2.5 tenths there, but he did not improve his position out on the track. So better lap from him. I think he can go a little bit quicker as well. Danny, something to look at is none of these drivers have chose the medium tire here tonight. None of them are going a little bit longer. So what they're probably going to do is start on the softs and go straight to the hards. In my experience from the hard compound tire, that tire is absolutely brutal. It takes about 5 to 6 laps to get up to speed, and it does not maximize the pace of the car. So I'm quite surprised that some of these drivers are starting on the softs.
Someone we haven't talked about much is FinFan here. I think he runs a bit wide. He's down in 13th place, maybe not where he wants to be. We haven't seen too much out of his pace, I don't believe, John. I mean, I know he's a pretty quick driver, but how he stacks up against the rest of these guys in the top tier of BRL, that is yet to be seen. So let's see what FinFan could do in the last 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Definitely enough time to come in here, get another set on, get back out. After I say that, it's going to be a bit tight for him, actually, now that I think about it. He's coming down a back straight right here. You have to hurry it up a little bit, but that's the field. I'm surprised that Boss Cookie's down to 15th. Still hasn't even done a lap time yet.
Yeah, Boss Cookie was one of the drivers to use the racing line about 3 or 4 weeks before this. So he doesn't have that much experience with it off. So I'm interested to see his pace with it off as BRL Titles goes purple sector 1 as I'm watching him in his Renault right now. But yeah, back on that, Boss Cookie, very quick driver. We saw it last year, somewhat inconsistent, but as the season went on, he got more and more comfortable with the car and comfortable with his driving. So I think if he can get that mastered with no line, I think he's going to be right up there with the leaders.
Yeah, well, here comes Pirandi through Sector 3 now. Didn't catch if he went purple on the second right there. Don't think he did, but here he is now, hard on the brakes, turning right. First corner of Sector 3, aside from the chicane. Looking pretty quick through here. Let's see what he can do. Hard on the brakes to the penultimate. Good turn, not too much of a lockup. Lockups are a bit easy in this game. People say it's hard to lock up, but when you're really pushing, it is easy to slide him a little bit. Across the line, second place, it's a Renault 1-2, so 2/10 off his teammate. Not enough for pole position, though, and that's what he's going to have to settle with. Let's see if that can stack up there and stay in second place, as a lot of these guys are still yet to finish their final lap.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see what FinFan does in that Alfa Romeo. He's down in 8th. We were talking about him earlier. And also his teammate Chandler Seda. He's looking very quick. Just fitted a new set of soft compound tires and is out there on his outlap for this final run. So what can he do, Danny?
Taking a look at Dralix right here. Looks like he actually just finished his run. He's got one lap on those tires. Still at 4th place for him. Looks like he's not going to be able to improve and get up into the top 3. Chandler Seda on his outlap. B-Dunk on his outlap. New Zealand Ryan also on an outlap. FinFan is done right here. Yes, looks like he's getting out of the way of some other guys as well. Yeah, so looks like FinFan's not going to be able to set another lap time, but he did get up to 8th, by the way. He did get up there, so went a bit under the radar, but there he is now solidly in the top 10, but let's hope he doesn't get shuffled down too much more. Ferrari down in 11th. That's actually not what Ferrari wanted. And yes, looks like he is done. He's done one lap on these tires already, unless he bailed out of the first. What just happened to FinFan?
Wow, I think FinFan actually retired in the pit lane,
retired.
Danny. VSR Dralix had a massive scare coming through the fast right-hander, lost it on the curb, went out in the grass. I don't know how he saved that car. It was fantastic, though.
Yeah, and actually, he's getting in the way of a Red Bull right here. Is that Hoopalicious? No, it isn't. It's the other of Mextalo, but here comes Hoop across the line. What can he do? He does not improve. He will not move into second or first. He's going to have to settle for third unless someone can beat him. Coming across the line, Dralix stays 4th. B-Dunk is still on his lap, I believe. Yes, he is. Here he is coming through Sector 2 now as he turns right. It'd be an easy corner to run wide, but he does a good job of not going too far wide to get an invalidation. It's going to be hard on the brakes right here. Going to try and maximize all the time he can. A little bit of a lockup. Once again, seeing a lot of those little puffs of lockups there right at the apex. Very common in this game, it appears. Here he is now coming up to the Sector 2, Sector 3 split. What's it going to be for B-Dunk? Not purple, but still looks to be a pretty clean lap all around. Not invalid at all either. John, is there anyone else approaching the line that we should take note at here?
Yes, for sure. Ferrari not just crossed the line. He moved up to 6th from 10th, so that was definitely what he was looking for right there. Meadfern didn't improve on his time. B-Dunk is coming around the final corner now. There is an Alfa Romeo, and it was Chandler Seda going into the pits. B-Dunk around the final corner, activates DRS. He's coming up to the line now. What can he do?
7th place. It's a slower than Ferrari nut. I mean, we all know Ferrari nut's good, but B-Dunk, I would have expected a little bit more out of him. He's looked pretty quick on this game as well, so maybe not what B-Dunk wanted, but once again, adapting to that no line for this game. I know we tried to learn at the end of the last one, carrying that over here, so let's see what he can do the rest of the season. New Zealand Ryan, though, coming out of the final corner. What's this going to be for him? Coming across, what's it going to be? Up to 2nd place. Wow! Buzzer beater for New Zealand Ryan. Right at the end, goes only 2/10 off of João Pedro to lock out the 2nd position right there. So that's awesome for him. Right at the end. Wow.
Yeah, I watched that lap. It was nailed. The whole lap was nailed. He really extracted all he could out of that car. I didn't know if you saw him, so I was about to mention him, but then you caught him at the last minute. But yeah, great jump from, I think
almost at a loss for words. I didn't see him till the end right there. But wow, that was a good lap for him. But still, to think that he's 1.5 tenths almost off of João Pedro, that just shows how quick that guy really is. It's going to be tough for Ryan here tonight if he wants to win. I think it comes down to if he nails that start and gets the position away from him off the line.
Well, it might come down to strategy too, or if there's a safety car or a VSC throughout the race. I mean, we've seen it time and time again after the last season of the Breakout Racing League. So, you know, this is a very interesting grid.
Yeah, well, there you have it. That is your first qualifying session here of Season 5 of the top tier of Breakout Racing League. João Pedro making his debut here tonight takes the pole at a 1:18.879. Second place, New Zealand Ryan, and third belongs to BRL Titles. So two of our newbies there locking out the podium starting positions here. So that's cool for them. John, why don't you take us through the rest of them?
Yeah, of course. Hooplicious in 4th. VSR Dralix came home in 5th. Chandler Seda, good to see him back in 6th. Ferrari Nut, rookie, down in 7th. Not bad. B-Dunk.
Oh, looks like we might have lost Mr. Webster there, but either way, we're loading now into the race session. You could see it on your screen right there. It's not the end of the world. But, man, I'm excited for this one. I think everyone's excited for this one. And, John, just one X factor we need to bring up here before we make our picks for this race is the safety car. We know on F1 2019, safety car did not exist at all for the first few versions of that game until they patched it in midway through its life. So, do we know if the safety car is going to come or not? Is that going to be an issue here in this game early in the stages?
Well, to bring it back to Tier 2 earlier in the night at around 8 o'clock, Breakout Racing League, fantastic. Tune in. You know, the safety car came out twice. Once was for an incident that was, it was a retiree on track. So that came out then, and then there was a crash in one of the finals in the final sector. So the safety car came out twice and the VSC came out twice. So I think it's a lot more common to see the safety car in this game. And we've done some multiplayer lobbies and some sessions before, and the safety car is more common to come out here. So I'm excited for this.
All right.
You never know with it.
Yeah, well, thank you for that insight. Now that we've got that done and dusted, let's make our picks now for our ones to watch and our picks to win the race here tonight. So, John, we started with you.
Well, Danny, my one to watch tonight has to be B-Dunk. He's starting down in 8th. We saw him year in. Oh, that's not very good. But, yeah, B-Dunk starting down in 8th last year. Really got on it at the end of the season. Actually got a win at one of the tracks late in the season. Very good driver. Raced with him for multiple years. So I think he is the one to watch sitting down in 8th. My pick to win tonight has to be New Zealand Ryan. He was your winner in the championship last year in the Breakout Racing League. He beat DRC Jared by a lot of points. Very great driver. He's in the Mercedes, starting 2nd today. It's all about the jump or the strategy for him today to get around Pedro. But he is my pick to win the race. Danny, how about yourself?
So for my one to watch here tonight, there's no Warden anymore, so I don't think I can make that one. But gotta look at Chandler there in 6th place. Not where he typically belongs. Typically see him up in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 6th place, a little bit out of position for him. So let's see what he can do to maybe gain some positions or just fight with those guys down in the midfield, I guess, to see what he could do. As for my one to win the race, I don't think I've ever seen anyone as smooth as João Pedro as I saw him in that qualifying session. He looked locked in, so 2 tenths ahead of Ryan almost too. So that's not something you see every day. I think he's on another level here tonight. I think João's gonna be able to take it here from pole position, but for all we know, anything can happen here in BRL. It's happened many times before. Could always easily happen again tonight. Speaking of anything can happen, FinFan and Ginger Horizon hit each other instantly on the formation lap. So what a way to start off the season for those two.
Yeah, their tires are going to be stone cold Steve Austin. It makes no sense. But as the drivers line up on the grid, this is going to be a great race here at the Australian
Take a look
Grand Prix.
at that. We got a graphic for predicted pit stop strategy. Isn't that
yeah.
cool? So
that's
you can
powered by
see that
AWS.
there back at home. And We're ready to get things started for Season 5. The lights are starting to come on ahead of the field. It is now 5. And it's time to bring the action for the first time in Season 5 from Albert Park. It looks like a good start there for João Pedro. Yes, as he covers off Ryan before they even get to turn 2. Looks like they're side by side behind. Possibly something going on there for Deer Hunter. Looks like he lost a couple positions. Single filing it out already, but looks like there is a spinner behind as it's now side by side for third. Hoopalicious looking to the left of Perandi. Going down the inside now as it switches to turn 5, I believe that is, or 4. Here they are coming through the kink, and it is now single filed out. Not too sure what happened down further down the grid. The front was rather clean, but they were side by side for third early on there, but Perandi was able to scoot ahead of Hoopalicious. Here they are now coming through Sector 2 for the first time. Everyone kind of poking their nose in there, letting the guy in front of them know that they are there, but no one really making moves here just yet. It is a bit early. What just happened there?
Number 1 fifth fan actually just lost one of his end plates. He ran straight in the back of Deer Hunter, so that is not a good start from him. Off the start, HRC went round as well, so he and the Ferrari is about, I don't know, 10 seconds off of Beeford in 15th. So bad start from HRC. Up front, it looked very clean.
I saw someone go around. The front was very clean, but someone did go around there in the middle. I guess it was HRC. Not a good start for him in his Tier 1 debut, I believe it is. As we now see Hoopalicious touch the grass a little bit coming through the entry of the final corner. He's going to have to try and hold it on the track and stay in the slipstream of those guys ahead. Here we are completing lap 1. João Pedro leads it with New Zealand RYAN 4 tenths back. 4 tenths behind him is Perandi, and 5 tenths back is Hoopalicious. Very evenly gapped here up front. And this is a very tight field up here at the front. It's a bit more dense than it was a season ago, if you ask me.
For sure, Danny. I noticed it right away off the start. I'm excited to see when the DRS comes available to these drivers on lap 3. What actually happens? You know, usually this track forms a little bit of a train and nobody can get past, but since these drivers are so tightly matched, maybe they can make some overtaking opportunities around this track.
And something I think we're really going to appreciate this season is the live delta on the left side. Instead of sector splits, we're able to see the constant delta changing between each of these drivers. So, as Boss Cookie and Deer Hunter appear to be going at it. Yes, Boss Cookie gets around Deer Hunter using that overtake button to his advantage right there. And once again, that is new this season for any of you fellas back at home. It actually looks like there has been a crash with Chandler Seda. What has happened to him? Has he retired? Yes, it looks like he is out of the race on lap 2. That is not what he needed for his... Actually, no, it looks like he's rolling here, so maybe he hasn't retired. He is still rolling, but what exactly happened right there? The second we look away from the front, something happened. No safety car for this, but this is going to be bad for him.
I have no clue what happened, Danny. It looked like an engine failure, but that cannot happen.
I know.
I don't know what went on there, but all of a sudden he was slow on the right side of the track. But that's unfortunate for him. I thought he was going to have a fantastic race here tonight.
Yeah.
But back up to the front, Pedro leads.
Yeah, I was just about to say, these guys at the front are still very tight. It is very hard to follow here. And yes, Chandler does retire now. Let's see if this triggers a VSC or safety car of that sort, but no, does not appear to be, as he retired in the pit lane. I was going to say, new for this season is the way that ERS is managed. It's just a single button now for any of you at home who are not aware. No more of those 7 different modes or however many there were. I believe it was 5 on the last game. It's just overtake or not overtake. So let's see how these guys use that tonight. You have to be very sparing of that button because it chews away that battery real quick, as I'm sure John knows from racing earlier tonight.
Oh yes, it really does. It's a very quick system this year. Boss Cookie is your position gainer right now. He's up 6 positions. He started in 15th, so he is up to 9th. He just got our first penalty of the race, so that's not good for him. But I mean, this 1 through 4 right now. I mean, they are within 3 tenths of each other. I mean, this is
and as they are tight up there. I was about to say, DRC Jared did just get around next Scalo for 11th place. So once again, Jared starting from the back. He's going to have to be moving up here through the field, see what he can do. Very tough to pass here, as we have noted. So I'm excited to see where he can end up by the end of this race. But as you said, these guys at the front are relentless. 3 tenths apart. I thought João was going to be able to maybe run away with it a little bit here in the first stint. But Ryan's really making it tough for him.
Yeah, for sure. Danny, I'm just getting an incoming quote from Chandler Seda. He said, I was driving, then without me retiring, the game drove my car to retire it. So that is a exact quote from Chandler Seda. So that's a real shame for him. But as the racing continues on, it looks like New Zealand Ryan is very, very close to Pedro. Can he make a move
might make
here?
a move right here. Yes, he's going to look to the right. No, he gets on the brakes a bit early. Really looked like he was going to make the move, but nah, he got on the brakes a bit early. Would have been a bit of an advantageous move, if you ask me, but looks like we do have another yellow flag. Has someone gone around? Don't believe so, but actually another penalty was picked up right there. And that's something we should mention, by the way, is that we are running with strict corner cutting here, as we always do in BRL, and Codemasters were a little bit less fair with the penalties in this game, if you ask me. So expect to see a lot more penalties than we did a season ago. As tough as it's going to be on these drivers, I think it's going to be a little bit more confusing for us to follow the positions here, as Jared already picks one up here on lap 5.
Danny, I don't know if you caught it a little bit earlier in the stream, but Deer Hunter almost went around there. He's all over the back of Bots, really harassing him through the final sector. Tried to get on the power right before the main straight and almost lost it, but what a save from him.
Yeah, I think that triggered a yellow flag. He got so sideways. Well, anyways, here they are. Everyone locking up that tiny little bit. Puff of white smoke on the right front tire, turning into that corner. Here we are down the back straightaway once again. These guys are tight, but the two tightest are the front two, BRL Del Pedro and New Zealand Ryan. A lot of new names here. I'm liking it, John. It's always good to have some fresh guys in the league. But anyways, these top four got a couple of the oldies here. We got New Zealand Ryan and Hoopalicious. Always good to see them at the front. Dralix does not appear to be in tow with these guys, though. We saw a season ago just how quick he is. Looks like he's a little bit off here early, but let's see if he can catch it up. Possibly some as Vinfan's out of the race.
Yeah, he retired in the
retired
in the pits. He was not too happy with the way his race was going, I'm pretty sure. So he is now out of it.
It's a double DNF for Alfa Romeo in the first race. That is not what I expected out of that team.
Danny, a battle to be closely watching right now is Ferrari Nut and B-Dunk. Ferrari Nut very close to B-Dunk's gearbox. Not too close to make a move this time, but down the back straightaway, he almost thought about making a move with that fast left to right hander.
You know, just taking a look at where Ferrari Nut is in this race so far, I think a realistic performance finish for him today. Be around 5th place. Looks to be about where the split is in performance right now. Those top four are checking out. 5th on back looks to be rather tight as well. And here he is looking to the right of B-Dunk, actually. You don't usually see a move in here, as B-Dunk doesn't leave him very much room. He did leave him room, though, and there was a slight bit of contact that really stalls out the run for Ferrari. Now, here comes Ginger Horizon. B-Dunk's lack of space given right there actually helped his teammate out. So that was pretty cool for B-Dunk. I mean, it was a bit fair. It was a bit tight, but it was fair. He did leave the room. Just not too much. And actually, he does look. He's letting through Ginger Horizon. So I think he's realizing that Ginger might be a bit quicker right now. A little bit of team orders there from McLaren.
Oh, and
as look at Ferrari Nuts sending
inside.
It down the inside. I have never seen a move in that corner. Looking at the outside of the penultimate. He's going to get the power down, but no, he loses the back end. Cancels out the momentum that he was going to have coming up to the final corner. But here he is with DRS open. Not going to be able to get a good run, though, because B-Dunk has DRS on his teammate ahead. A lot of action happening there at once. A lot of different things happening at once. B-Dunk apparently letting his teammate through. A bit of team orders right there. As well as Ferrari Nut really making a really cool move, if you ask me. If only that would have stuck.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a move there either, Danny. So that would have been pretty cool. But I'm just admiring the top four right now and how close they're staying together without making any mistakes. I do think Ryan does have a penalty, though. That is the one mistake of the top four so far. But they are staying within
I would say Ryan was
other.
pretty unstoppable a season ago, but he did tend to pick up a lot of penalties in the latter half of the season. Let's hope that doesn't carry over for his sake for this season. But yes, he does have one already. Not great for him. Riding on board Hoopalicious right here, you can see how tight these four guys are. The three of them ahead. There's actually brought the locks up a little bit right there, but not too much to send him that far off the apex, as B-Dunk now picks up a penalty. And those penalties are not disappointing already, as actually Ferrari Nut, there he is, getting around B-Dunk. Sorry we missed it. He was able to get the move done there in that third DRS zone. Yes,
top
do they all
three,
come in? We might be seeing 2 stops tonight. Is that possible?
That is possible. That is a good strategy, but New Zealand Ryan
Let's see what they put on. I'm looking at Hoopalicious right here. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard for Hoopalicious.
All of them. They're going hard compound tires. Ferrari nuts in.
Yes, they are. Yeah, well, I guess it's a bit of an early stop. We know how dead those softs are after a select few laps. And actually important for these guys, and for the guys that have stayed out, the ones who have pitted,
and there's
might
a
get
front
stuck
wing
behind HRC right here.
And there's a front wing. It looks like a front wing
Mextalo. It's Mextalo, yeah.
It is Mextalo.
Yeah, he's lost his left front end plate. There was contact, I believe, with the back of Mean Fern, it looked like. Not too sure what happened to him, as Jared now picks up a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, this is a tough spot of the track to have a broken wing. It's actually, Pirati goes straight off the racetrack. Yes? Or no, was it not him? Someone went straight off the racetrack, or that was lag. Not too sure what that was. I could have sworn I saw someone on the gravel right there. That was a bit odd. And possibly lag. I'm not too sure. That was kind of a fake out right there. I know I saw it. That'll be recorded on the stream later to look at. Either way, it looks like he is running fine. But oh no, HRC's going around us. I saw a flash of red. Yeah, a flash of red, and around goes a Ferrari. There he is down in 13th. I was about to say he was going to be crucial for these guys that have stayed out, because he could have acted like a pick, like Verstappen on Hamilton in 2017, if he held up those guys who had just pitted. Oh no, as he spins again. Oh geez, HRC not looking too great right here. Not a good first race for him. A lot of these guys are having a good start to the season already. But HRC is just another one of them.
New Zealand Ryan might be able to make a move down the back straightaway on.
Yeah, taking a look right here, on board with him, looking to the left of João Pedro. João Pedro very hard on the brakes. He's going to go a bit. No, he didn't. Wow, he was really tough on the brakes right there. It didn't go wide. That's just the level of skill that you see out of this guy. He was able to stop remarkably quickly right there. I don't think Ryan even anticipated that. And wow, yeah, Ryan's just going to have to settle in and tuck in that slipstream and wait, just as he had for the entire first stint. But João Pedro, if he did stay out, I believe he did stay out a lap longer than these guys, so for the undercut to not pay off, that's pretty impressive by João Pedro.
Yeah, for sure. I thought New Zealand Ryan, that was his position for the taking, but Pedro held his own. I have no clue how he stopped that car so quickly, but here from the Breakout Racing League, we want to say hello to all the viewers. If you are just joining us, pit stops are occurring right now. Ginger Rising is up in the lead on those softs as he pits along with Ferrari Nut in second, and DRC Jared is down in third.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, Boss Cookie, Beer Hunter, and Newford are all staying out right here. And right behind them are the provisional leaders. They're really going to be holding these guys up here. How much is that going to help out some of these other drivers that are still staying out, like DRC Jared?
Ah, man, I don't really know. To be honest,
I mean, Jared started on hard, so he's getting the slower tire out of the way first. If these guys really hold those leaders up as much as they could, this could really work out for Jared here. Maybe not a win, but it would get him a lot closer to these guys than he would have been.
Danny, it's already transpiring. I mean, look at Pedro. He's all over the back of Mean Fern, and he can't get by him. The track is just too skinny.
Yeah, I mean, oh, it looks like Mean Fern locked up right there, though. Yes, but, oh, he shuts the door a little bit. No, ends up leaving the space for João Pedro. Here he's going to be committed down the right side. Easy move right there for João Pedro, but not so easy for Ryan. That really stalled out Ryan's momentum. Let's see what he could do coming down the back straight right here. Is João Pedro, look at that. Very strategic driving right there, hitting the slipstream. To Mean Fern as they make contact, and Ryan's off the racetrack.
Up and Hooplicious.
And I have lost connection to the... Oh, okay. Well, that's excellent. Start to the season and already already getting connection issues. John, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. Are we still on board for the stream?
Yes, luckily. Just please shoot me an invite here as soon as possible.
Yeah,
sorry to everyone at home. That, man. Just, while the screen is blank, I will say this will not be happening come 2 weeks' time when I'm not at this house and have much better connection. So apologize for that. But we'll be getting in there real quick. John, how much time did Ryan lose by running off the track right there after the contact with Mean Fern?
He didn't lose any time there. Mean Fern really just hit the wall and got out of the way for him. But you know who lost time was Perandi and Hooplicious, and Hooplicious is now fallen behind VSR Dralix. I don't know what had happened there, maybe some contact there, but Hooplicious now finds himself down in 8th. But Deer Hunter is now the one holding up Pedro, Ryan, and Perandi in that racing point. Very quick driver. He's on the medium, so he started on the medium, so he hasn't made a stop yet. So these leaders are happy with him. But as we go down
right
the
here,
field,
about to be back. Wouldn't be a race with me commentating on that, there being a disconnection right in the middle of the race. But
yeah,
anyways, we are back. We are back. Where's the action at? A lot of tight, actually very tight here between the McLarens and the racing point of Ferrari, not right there, but I'm sure it's still tight at the front. The interval will reset when it hits the line right here. And yes, look at Deer Hunter holding these guys up. Now Pedro, Ryan, and Perandi all right in his tire tracks. Hoopalicious was actually the big loser, I think, in the scuffle that happened a lot.
Pedro going to make a move
behind
on
him. He comes into the pits.
Pedro is down.
Yes, he did get ahead.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's important for him. Let's see what Ryan can do. Is Deer Hunter really slides right there?
Ryan's going to get by him as well. So Ryan, taking the opportunity to get by Deer Hunter and does. So that is a very good race strategy for him.
Yeah, but unfortunate for Perandi, he is still behind Deer Hunter right here. He's got to get this move done quick if he doesn't want to lose the draft of the 2 cars ahead who are provisionally your leader. Jared, 8.5 seconds ahead of these guys. Well, that is just not going to be anywhere near enough for him to come out remotely close to these guys. As Perandi sends it down the inside of Deer Hunter right there. That was committed, and he stuck it with those fresh tires. A lot more grip. That was actually pretty easy for him.
Yeah, I'm just admiring how these drivers are really handling those hards compared to a driver like me who was skating across the track earlier. So.
Yeah, those tires are tricky, but these guys are the best of the best, as we know. We can see just how tight they really are. This is very fun entertainment for sure. Glad to see the abundance of fans we have watching here tonight, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. I believe this is a record high for us, so cool to see you kicking in here tonight. For Dralix, he's down in 6th place right there. Once again, I do believe 5th place is the highest position where drivers of his standing are going to finish tonight. Those top 4 really are gone. As I say top 4, actually, Hoopalicious was one of those top 4. He really seems to have lost out. So now that I say that, I do believe 4th is going to be realistic for Dralix here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Dralix, we've seen it time in and time again. You know, he's a very quick driver, just very consistent last year. Won a couple of races down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, a P4 or a P5 here tonight to get your season started off, that is a decent result. I mean, if you can get anywhere from the 25 points, which is the maximum points scored, to 10 points, I think you still got oh yeah, 26. You know, anywhere from that 26 to 10, that is just a fantastic start off to your season. It's really a confidence boost going into Bahrain.
Speaking of fastest lap, do we know who has that? I'm surprised that there isn't a notification there on the left side that shows you who has it.
Say that again?
God, do we have that intel or not? Fastest lap. Do not appear to see who has it on the left side.
Let me look real quick. Fastest lap, telemetry. Maybe not. Oh, yes, I do. So New Zealand Ryan actually holds the fastest lap as of now. He's a 127, or excuse me, a 123.733. Very close to him is Pedro with a 123.741. So. And actually, Horizon...
Oh, Ginger Horizon takes it.
Yeah. He just takes it.
I mean, he's on fresher tires with softer rubber as well. They're on those yellow wall mediums. And John, something that we really need to pay attention to here is that Jared is actually pulling away from Chow Pedro. He has opened up 4/10 in the last few corners. It's gone from 8.4 to 8.8 now. Don't know if that's sustainable. Maybe just a couple of scruffy corners there for Chow Pedro. But Jared doing a good job there on those older hards. Started on those tires, so excited to see where he comes out here. He's probably going to be putting on maybe the softs, possibly the mediums as well. As actually looks like Dralix and Deer Hunter are going at it right here. Yes, Deer Hunter, I believe, was under fire from Dralix. Yes, he was. Dralix tried to get the move done, but wasn't able to complete it. They are going down the back straightaway right here, turning left quickly to the right now through the chicane. Very hard to follow in the fast corners right there at the dirty air. Hydraulics does a good job of it. Here he is tucking the slipstream. Deer Hunter goes defensive on the right. Hard on the brakes to the left side. Around the outside goes Dralix. That was excellent right there. Deer Hunter's not going to be able to do anything about it. Up to 5th place goes Dralix. Wow, and Hoopalicious coming from behind. Deer Hunter's really going to be under fire here again in a second.
Wow, what a overtake from VSR Dralix there on Deer Hunter as DRC Jared continues to open up a little bit of a gap. I mean, those hards must really have come in for him as he slides a little bit through there.
I don't think it's a combination of him doing a really good job on those old tires, and I do believe João Pedro bending a little bit to the pressure given by New Zealand Ryan behind him. It's a lot tougher to run laps when you've got a guy right up your gearbox. As for Jared, he's got all the clean air in the world.
And Mean Fern is disconnected from the session, so we should get him back in here. That is a shame for him.
Shoot him into that, please.
I will.
We'll take a look right here. Actually, it does appear that João Pedro has cut back the deficit that he lost the previous lap on Jared right there. So it's actually now gaining back, 8.3 seconds now between those two. As Mean Fern, something appears to have happened to him. He's pitted. Okay, so Mean Fern coming in and putting on the softs right here. Don't know what that strategy is right there. I mean, he's not really near anybody. I don't think he can pass anyone the rest of the way. But it might just be a game of trying to take away that bonus point away from whoever has it, who right now is Ginger Horizon. So that's always a strategy, but once again, you cannot be given that bonus point unless you are in the top 10. So not looking for the point, just trying to take it away, it appears.
Yeah, for sure. DRC Jared is still out front there. I can't believe he's going quicker than BRL Pedro right now. Behind Pedro is
He's quicker anymore.
Oh, well, I think he pulled
cut down
about
a few
4 tenths. Yeah, I think he pulled 4 tenths in that final sector there. But New Zealand Ryan is still all over the back of Pedro, and Parandi is right there ready to pounce if one of those two make a mistake.
Oh, and by the way, I think Mean Fern's disconnection threw him in the pits for some reason. It actually looks like something has happened to Deer Hunter. What is going on? How did we miss this? It was side by side, 4 cars right there going through turn number 3. Here they are coming through the kick right now. This is super tight. Hoopalicious all over the back of Ginger Horizon and the 2 racing points behind them. How did we miss that? Here they are coming out through sector 2. Looking to the inside is Ferrari not Hoopalicious. Actually looks like he will get alongside, hard on the brakes, and he will get ahead of Hoopalicious. Look at that.
Oh,
as now Hoop goes wide, and the other racing point of Deer Hunter is going to be able to capitalize. Wow, scruffy corner there for Hoopalicious. A little bit too hard on the brakes right there. A little too deep, I should say. He goes off the track and loses 2 spots when he was trying to get one on Ginger.
Danny, it looked to me that Ferrari not really just squoze him out to the left there, and he really had nowhere to go besides lock up and go deep. So, an interesting play by Ferrari. Was it clean? Maybe. Was it helpful for his teammate? Yes, it was.
And isn't this weird to Deer Hunter start on those mediums? Is he pitted yet?
Deer Hunter has stayed out all this time, so he is not. He's still out there running.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, not looking like he's going to have a good finish here today, then.
Well,
by the way, Hoopalicious making a move right here, coming into turn number 1. Easily going to get him on the inside. It squeezes Deer Hunter out on the grass a little bit right there. I mean, this is really slowing up Hoopalicious right here. The amount of passes that he's having to remake after losing the time he did twice now. A few minutes ago and now just 1 lap ago, 2 times he's run off the track a little bit and lost a lot of time. So he's got his work to do if he's going to have to try and get up to these guys. Ferrari and Ginger in front of him. I do believe they're going to have to pit again though, Judd. Do you think they can bring those mediums to the end?
They might be able to, Danny. I was speaking to Deer Hunter earlier before the race, and he gave me this strategy of saying mediums to softs. Now he told me that he did a league race a couple nights ago. He said he took the mediums to lap 18 and then threw on the softs at the end for a nice little fast stint there at the end. So I'm not sure. I think the mediums will hold up if they don't push them all the way and if they kind of just relax, but there is no relaxing with Ferrari Nut and Ginger Horizon right now, who are both on the mediums.
Yeah, well, up front still, Jared is still staying out there on those hards. I'd expect him to pit, what would you say, around lap 21, 22 to put on softs, potentially. Don't expect him to put on the mediums here. He's going long enough that it looks like he is going to try and stretch it to the red wall softs. Behind them, actually looks like something's going on with B-Dunk and Deer Hunter. Yeah, it looks like Deer Hunter trying to break the slipstream a little bit of B-Dunk behind. B-Dunk not off to a great start this season. Oh, as he picks up producing a time penalty right there. Running down in 10th place, not typically where we see him. But, oh, look at this. He's sticking up the inside of Deer Hunter right there. Not able to get alongside, but really took a look right there. That would have been really funny if he actually got down the inside. That was a really late dive. Deer Hunter, though, with a lot less grip on those 18-lap old mediums right here. So, see what he could do the rest of the race. Odd that he's still staying out, if you ask me. Boss Cookie running down in 11th, running a respectful race, not really near anyone. He's kind of getting his feet wet, I think, doing a full race with that no line that he's not too used to. There's Ginger Horizon and Ferrari not going at it again right here. Looks like Ferrari was able to just get the pass done. See he was now moving up to the 6th place right there is Ferrari Nut. Let's see if Ginger could get him back possibly. Ginger having a good race, by the way, John.
Yeah, he really is. Ginger just making the right moves at the right time. Is up there challenging for maybe a top 5 if he can get close to Dralix. But yeah, DRC Jared continues to stay out there. Pedro and New Zealand Ryan and Ferrandi are just in a league of their own. They're just together and non-separable. I mean, they're within about a second of each other, all 3 of them. So, I mean, they are very quick out there.
Oh, Deer Hunter's in the pits.
Yes,
Here
he is.
This took a long time, but yes, here he is putting on those softs. Strategy's not really working out for him. He's going to come out 11th place, significantly behind Boss Cookie right here. So there's no way he's going to catch. I mean, 10 laps. It's about a full sector right there. So we'll see what he can do. He's probably going to try and take away the fastest lap right here. Once again, won't get the point for it, but will at least take it away from his competitors. Mextalo down there in 12th, not having the best race himself. I do believe, yes, he had that wing damage earlier, so not a respective showing from him. See if he can get a better run here next weekend at Bahrain.
Yeah, I mean, Bahrain is a very easy. I wouldn't say easy. It's more of a
it's easier.
More of a comfortable, easier. Yes, easier than here. A lot easier to pass. A lot more opportunities. But yeah, maybe he can get it together next race. I know we all know that he's a very quick driver, and especially in the rain. But I don't think it's going to rain at Bahrain. So
yeah, if that happens, then
yeah,
pigs
are flying.
We've seen craziness like that. We've seen rain at Abu Dhabi here in BRL before, so it could happen. You never know. Looking at these guys once again, the battle for the provisional lead, 2nd place at the moment. It's not really much of a battle anymore. It's just been a freight train for several laps here. It used to be a 4-car train when Hoopalicious was up front. That has changed. It's just 3 now. 2 Renaults and that 1 Mercedes there of New Zealand Ryan. Not much happening between these 3, though. Really just been following each other around, putting around the racetrack, and I mean, we said it. It's very tough to pass this track. Even with that remodel, not too many moves between these guys.
Yeah, Danny, I know a lot about putting, but something to mention is B-Dunk really just down there by his own, by himself. I mean, he's got a 7-second gap back to Boss Cookie, and he's got Hoopalicious, who's 4.3 seconds in front of him. Just running his race. It was my pick to watch today, and he's just not having the race that he hoped for.
Yeah, mine didn't have quite the best race here. Chandler, something happened with him early, but either way, just taking a look at Jared right here on the Delta. It's about 23 seconds here, I believe, the Delta when you take a pit stop. And here he is coming to the pits right now. I didn't realize he was actually in. I'm just looking at where he's going to come out. It's not going to be 5th. Yeah, Dralix is going to get past him. Ferrari Nut and the McLaren of Ginger Horizon as well. But can he get in front of Hoopalicious? Yes, he can.
Yeah, wow.
This has worked out very well for Jared. He started last place DNF early in qualifying. But look at Hoopalicious with all the momentum in the world. He's going to make a run at him. But that's going to be to no avail, as Jared is going to be able to brake harder on those fresh softs right there. He's able to use some overtake as well to prevent that move from happening. And look at how much he's already gained. The 1 corner, fresh softs to old hards is a huge difference right there.
Yeah, Danny, I mean, I could see DRC Jared finishing up in 4th because Ginger Horizon not far up the road, so is Ferrari Nut, and Dralix is about 4 or 5 seconds up the road from Ferrari Nut. So there is an opportunity here for DRC Jared to get a 4th place finish. But Danny, I think he should go on.
I think he's going to finish 4th. Yeah, I personally think he will finish 4th.
I mean, those softs are so quick around here. It's like it's an insane feeling going from hards to softs here. at the end of the race. But Danny, I think we should go on board with New Zealand Ryan as he really closes up to Pedro here.
Yeah, I mean, he's been all over him this full race right here, all 21 laps. Now start number 22. It's going to be 8 to go right here for these guys coming through turn number 1. It is now effectively the battle for the win, as Jared has pitted, obviously. These guys going at it. It's the closest I think I've seen Ryan to making a move, but no, he's not going to be able to get it done. Very close indeed, almost contact. He had to swerve to the left side a little bit to not hit the back of João Pedro. A little bit later on the brakes was Ryan. Behind them, Pirandi kind of just lurking, not as close to Ryan as Ryan is to João, but he is right there.
Yeah, for sure, but Pirandi ready to pounce at these two. Oh, and it looks like New Zealand Ryan.
Something happened right there.
Yeah, I mean, New Zealand Ryan, I thought he was going to make a move there, but maybe a little trickery from Pedro for the broadcast there, but New Zealand Ryan still all over Pirandi, ready to pounce back there.
I was going to say, we've seen 22 laps of this
and
now,
Danny,
almost.
DRC Jared around the outside of Ferrari nut. Oh my God, that was so close. Wow, Ferrari.
There he goes. Yeah, Jared up to the 6th place, already making moves. He was not very close to those guys a lap ago, and he's already making the moves already. Ahead of Ferrari. Now here he is coming up on Ginger Horizon. He's going to make it right here. Dives down the inside, hard on the brakes, and he's going to stop like a dime on those fresh softs. Easy move right there for him. And Dralix is right in front of him. This is way quicker than I thought that he was going to up to 4th place. What are the chances he might even catch up to those top 3?
I think they're very slim, but he is flying right now. I mean, that move that he made on Ferrari, they sent it around the outside. Fastest lap, so DRC Jared with a 1:21.5. The man is absolutely on a mission right now to that podium. As boss, don't even look at the bottom of the screen. But DRC Jared, here he goes. He's going to be closing up into Dralix. Danny, I was going to mention it to you earlier. Ferrari Nut and Jared got so close. He sent it around the outside of him, and Ferrari Nut almost put him in the wall and ended his chances for a nice podium or a 4th place. So very good driving out of those two for not. Yeah, very good driving out of those two for making that not happen. But here we go, Jared, all over the back of Dralix already.
So, oh, geez. Dralix very early on the brakes right there. I mean, that's just where he's having to brake on those older hards right there. Jared did not anticipate that. He's got so much more grip right there. That was almost contact. Thank God it wasn't. Here we are now coming through the chicane. A much better run for Jared, as you would expect. He's going to deploy that DRS, looking to the right side. Alongside before they even get to the braking zone, and clear before they get to the braking zone. Easy move there for Jared. Up in the 4th place, he's got 8.3 seconds to close down. It's 7 to go and he hits the line right here. I think he might get close. He legitimately might get pretty close to these guys. They're on 16-lap-old hards versus his 2-lap-old softs. So let's see what he can do as this race winds down. But anyway, looking at these guys at the front once again, just look at Orion right here. It's been 24 laps now when they hit the line. 24 laps of following in the tire tracks of João Pedro, just waiting for a mistake, and that mistake just has not come.
No, Pedro has been so solid, just no mistakes. That is a real racer right there. I mean, I've never seen anybody race like that. I'm kind of in awe right now. But DRC Jared just took 3/10 out in the 1st sector, so I think he's about a second a lap quicker.
That's important for him. I mean, he's 7.4 already. He's coming. I mean, For the sake of excitement, I really hope he catches these guys, but these guys would think he has no place in finishing on the podium. The man started in dead last. It was on the alternate strategy after being stuck behind lap traffic for a lot of this race. Here he is making a potential chance at 3rd place. John, he has cut down 1.2 seconds this lap, and they haven't even completed it.
I mean, yeah. He's coming.
He's going to catch him. Quick. He is going to catch him.
I
think
it's
just all about not abusing those tires too much. He has to go easy enough on them that he is gaining, that he will still have rubber once he catches them. Yeah, he's caught 2 seconds at 1 lap. It's 6.3 now. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he is flying out here. This is very exciting for the viewers at home. Hello, this is the Breakout Racing League Tier 1. As it stands right now, BRL Pedro out front, followed by New Zealand Ryan and BRL Pirandi. But the storyline right now is DRC Jared on those soft compound tires, really closing on those leaders.
Yeah, just thinking real quick, if you're New Zealand Ryan, once again, he's been following the tire tracks this whole race. Is it worth trying to make a move in a part of the track where you don't typically do it, because Zhao really seems to have it covered off in those normal braking zones, or overtaking zones, heavy braking zones indeed as well, of those DRS straights. And we know how overpowered that overtake button really is. What if Ryan hit that in an area of the track that you wouldn't typically see? Try and, you know, put Zhao off guard a little bit. Could that work?
Well, it could work, Danny, but right now and New Zealand Ryan might
he's making a move. Here he is, looking at the inside, but the better exit is going to be given to the Renault of João Pedro. Very good on the brakes right there for Ryan to not get alongside and hit him. But still, the better rotation on the outside belongs to João Pedro, as it always will when you make a late dive like that. So good to see Ryan finally making a move, but unfortunately it did not pay off for him. And look at the gap to Jared. It is 4.4 seconds. He is coming. You can see him. You can see him in the background.
You can see him. Wow. This is exciting, Danny. I mean, we got three people up
here. We have a buzzer beater right here. We had a buzzer beater
qualifying
with Ryan moving up to second. We might have a buzzer beater here for the other Mercedes at the end of the race.
Yeah, for sure. And actually something to look at right now. New Zealand Ryan.
Oh, looks like we've lost him. Anyway, take a look right here. Jared has cut down another half a second through sector 1 alone. This man is coming. 3.9 seconds now. He is going to catch. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to get around some of these guys. And can you check how many penalties he has, by the way? How many do these top three have altogether as well?
Yeah, I can check that in a minute, but I was trying to say something before my mic cut out. It's
awesome.
Thank God for Xbox, right? No, something to observe right now is New Zealand Ryan has the most ERS out of the three of them, and he's closing on Pedro, who only has 5% ERS right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's really starting to abuse it right now. But DRC Jared, 3.4 seconds now. He's closed down another half a second in Sector 2. So they're coming up to Sector 3. The 10s continue to slip away between BRL Pirandi and DRC Jared. Here we are coming down the front straightaway once again from 26th time, beginning the 27th time. 3 to go here, and it is now 3 seconds. He is going to catch. I think he's going to catch by the end of this lap.
Danny, he might actually win this race. Pirandi has 3 penalties. Pedro has a penalty, and New Zealand Ryan has 2 penalties. And Jared has 3 penalties. So this could be interesting. This could be very interesting here at the closing stages with 3 to go. 3 to go in this race. And we can see Jared in the background.
We said it. Yeah. I was going to say, we said it at the beginning. The penalties are brutal in this game, and it is showing so far. You don't typically see so many penalties from such top-tier drivers. Cool that some of them only have 1 as well, as Ginger Horizon picks up another. We're talking about penalties. But yeah, Jared is right there, 2.6 seconds. You can see them as we ride on board coming up to the chicane. You can see the tail end of that Renault for Rondi. But it looks like he's starting to slow down a little bit. Yellow flag's out. No, Boss Cookie.
Boss Cookie has
a 70. He ran this whole race just a DNF right at the end. It's upsetting for him.
Right by the leaders too, so.
Yeah,
it doesn't slow them up, but is that a no, they were just going slow. I thought there was a VSC out, but as they continue,
that is not what Jared wants to see. But here he is coming on the final corner. It is 1.9 seconds, 2 to go at the line right here. Yes, it is 2 to go. Here he is coming to turn number 1. So much faster than the drivers ahead. I don't know if he's gonna be able to pass anyone, but he at least made it exciting.
It looks like 3 2020 Ferraris out front, and the Mercedes coming at them from behind.
Yeah. Oh no, he hits the grass. Oh, he could have lost it right there. That was a full car width right there. He stuck his tires in the grass. Lucky that he did spin it right there. Good stuff to not spin it indeed, but it's now 1.3 seconds. I think he is going to pass Pirandi. I think he'll get Pirandi. As for Ryan, his teammate, I don't think that's going to be possible.